There's a hidden truth the modern world rarely understands about people who think deeply. They almost never look like what society labels as intelligent. They aren't loud, flashy, or desperate to prove anything. Their brilliance doesn't announce itself. It hides in quiet routines, in behaviors that are misunderstood, and in long moments of silence that others mistake for emptiness, weakness, or indifference. But according to the ancient Stoics, this silence is not absence, it is mastery. True intelligence is not noise, it is restraint, it is discipline, it is a mind so ordered, so internally governed, that it no longer needs validation from the outside world. While others chase attention, these minds sharpen themselves in private. In this video from Stoic Sage Academy, we will uncover 4 strange, almost unsettling habits that reveal something far greater than surface-level cleverness. These habits don't signal arrogance, they don't rely on showing off knowledge. Instead, they expose a rare kind of mind, one trained to see through illusion, resist manipulation, and remain unshaken in a chaotic world. If you've ever felt misunderstood for being quiet, observant, or detached, or if you want to understand the kind of intelligence that cannot be threatened or controlled, this is where it begins. Habit 1. You choose solitude over constant stimulation. Most people are terrified of silence, not because silence is empty, but because silence is honest. When the noise fades, when the music stops, when the distractions disappear, they are left alone with who they truly are. And many cannot endure that confrontation. But those who possess real depth are not repelled by silence. They are drawn to it, not out of loneliness, not out of bitterness toward others, but out of necessity. A mind that constantly craves stimulation, attention, approval, and validation has not yet learned how to govern itself. It must be fed from the outside to feel alive. But the intelligent mind, as Epictetus taught, learns something far more powerful: to desire nothing beyond its own reason. This is why solitude becomes sacred. We do not seek distance from people because we despise them. We seek distance because we refuse to dissolve our identity in the noise of the crowd. While the world scrolls endlessly, consuming opinions, chasing trends, mistaking movement for meaning, we step back, we slow down, we think, we observe, we interrogate our emotions instead of surrendering to them. We don't rush to prove that we're right. We care far more about understanding why we think the way we do. That restraint, that inward discipline, is the quiet signature of a trained mind. The Stoics believed that true intelligence is not raw intellect, but alignment, aligning thought with virtue, impulse with reason. It is the strength to remain steady when emotion urges us to react, to lash out, to defend our ego. Solitude sharpens this strength. In silence, we examine ourselves without masks, we identify our weaknesses without excuses, and we rebuild, privately, patiently, without applause. Marcus Aurelius didn't write for an audience, he wrote to himself, because he understood that the greatest battlefield is not the world, but the mind. Every entry in his journal was an act of self-command. If you find peace in being alone, it is not because you are antisocial. It is because your inner world is rich enough to sustain you. You are training the most powerful weapon you possess, your mind, to function without praise, without witnesses, without noise. And that is something most people will never have the courage to do. Habit 2. You refuse to accept the world at face value. The average person constructs their entire life on borrowed beliefs, ideas handed down without inspection, traditions followed without understanding, rules obeyed simply because that's how it's. Inability to accept reality at face value. They question not because they want to rebel, but because they are loyal to truth. Quiet resolve. Seneca once wrote that the mind's greatest power is its ability to remain unconquerable, and that unconquerable nature does not only endure pain, it resists blind conformity. We live in an era where imitation is confused for identity,
where fitting in is praised more than thinking clearly, where repeating popular opinions feels safer than forming your own. But the intelligent individual does not fear standing apart. He listens carefully, yet he does not absorb everything he hears. He filters, he dissects, he decides which ideas deserve entry into his mind and which must be turned away. This habit makes him appear strange. He may smile at things others take far too seriously. He may remain calm when others are enraged. He may refuse to react at all when provoked, not because he is weak, but because he understands a fundamental Stoic truth. Reaction is surrender. The moment you react blindly.
Habit 3. You master the art of silent awareness. In a world obsessed with being heard, those who choose to listen quietly often possess the greatest power, while others rush to speak, to interrupt, to assert themselves into every moment. The observer stands still, watching, sensing, reading what is never spoken aloud. They notice the pauses between words, the tension behind smiles, the emotions hidden beneath confident tones. And in that silence, they uncover truth. Observation is not weakness. It is not passivity. It is control. It is the Stoic discipline of restraint in action. Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, warned against rushing to judgment because haste belongs to minds ruled by emotion. The faster someone reacts, the easier they are to provoke, predict, and manipulate. But the one who pauses, who watches before responding, becomes unreachable, untouchable. Those of us who place reason above reaction understand something most never will. The majority of conversations are not about truth. They are about ego. People speak to dominate, not to understand. They listen only to prepare their reply, not to reflect. And so we choose silence, not because we lack words, but because we refuse to contribute to the noise of insecurity disguised as confidence. This habit of deep observation cultivates something rare: awareness. Awareness of others, awareness of emotional undercurrents, and most importantly, awareness of ourselves. When we observe without judgment, patterns emerge. We see what provokes anger, what fuels dishonesty, what fear disguises itself as cruelty. And in recognizing these patterns in others, we are forced to confront them within ourselves. Observation becomes a mirror that flatters no one. Through this lens, we begin to understand how fragile the human mind truly is, how quickly pride becomes rage, how easily desire overrides reason, how swiftly emotion hijacks judgment. And this understanding compels us to fortify our own character. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily of this truth. "When you wake up in the morning," he wrote, "tell yourself the people you deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly, but none of them can harm you unless you allow your mind to be conquered." This is the advantage quiet observation grants you: emotional sovereignty. While others erupt, you remain composed. While others defend their ego, you analyze the moment. While others burn bridges in a fit of pride, you preserve your integrity through restraint. Over time, you begin to notice something unsettling. Those who talk the most are often trying to convince themselves. Their words are armor for insecurity. But those who speak less, who pause, who choose their responses carefully, carry a presence that cannot be manufactured, a calm authority, a stillness that commands attention without asking for it. It is magnetic. People feel it even when they cannot explain it. This was the energy of the ancient Stoics, not dominance through words, but composure through discipline. They understood that intelligence and strength are not measured by argument, but one's ability to remain unmoved in the face of chaos. And this discipline of observation does more than protect you from the world. It transforms you.
You become the person who sees emotional traps before stepping into them. You learn to wait before speaking, to pause before deciding, to breathe before reacting. In that space, between impulse and action, you discover freedom. Silence, guided by awareness, becomes power. It is the art of saying nothing while seeing everything. Conquest through understanding, not force. So if you often find yourself standing quietly while others speak, listening while others rush, analyzing while others react, understand this: it is not weakness, it is evolution. You are refining perception, sharpening intuition, mastering emotion, just as the ancient philosophers did. Seneca warned that life is not short. We simply waste much of it. Every impulsive word, every emotional outburst scatters energy, fractures focus, and plants regret. But silence, chosen with wisdom, gathers strength. It keeps energy contained, the mind sharp, and dignity intact. With time, this habit reshapes you. You become unshakable. People sense something about you, a quiet authority that doesn't demand recognition. They won't know whether to respect you or fear you. Often, it will be both, because true intelligence, forged through Stoic discipline, does not seek to impress. It seeks mastery over thought, over emotion, over self. When the world shouts, you observe. When others scramble to speak, you choose restraint. And when chaos challenges your composure, you stand firm, because you've already won the hardest battle of all, the one within. You feel deeply, yet remain unmoved.
Habit 4. You feel deeply, yet remain unmoved. There exists a form of intelligence that does not reveal itself through theories or eloquence, but through endurance. Most mistake emotional detachment for emptiness, but the truth is far more demanding. Those who feel the deepest are often the ones who have learned how to stand still in the storm. They have faced enough chaos to understand Epictetus's truth. It is not what happens to you, but how you respond to it that defines you. We who learn to govern our minds know emotions are not enemies. They are visitors. They arrive to test us, to expose fractures in our inner foundation. The weak drown in them. The disciplined let the wave pass without being pulled under. This is not coldness. It is composure earned through battle. And it unsettles those who rely on emotional chaos to control others, because they cannot provoke what no longer reacts. Ask yourself this: when someone insults you, what do they truly want? A reaction. When patience is tested, what is being sought? Control. When someone tries to incite jealousy, anger, or fear, they are asking you to surrender your power. But when you don't, when you answer with silence, a steady gaze, or a calm acknowledgement, they are left alone with their own emotions, and that is unbearable for them. This is the essence of the Stoic mind. Seneca wrote that no one is more unfortunate than the person who never faces adversity, for they are never allowed to prove themselves. Calmness is not accidental. It is forged through loss, betrayal, hardship, in pain severe enough to strip illusions away until only truth remains. To feel deeply, yet remain steady, is the mark of one who has looked into themselves and did not turn away. You begin to sense emotion without obeying it. Anger arises, but you do not act from it. Sadness visits, but you do not drown in it. Love flows, but you do not lose your center. It is like fire seen from a distance, respected for its power, but never allowed to burn you. This is why people sense something dangerous in your calm, a presence that is both peaceful and formidable. In a world addicted to reaction, your stillness becomes unsettling. You cannot be read easily. You cannot be predicted, and what cannot be predicted cannot be controlled. Marcus Aurelius practiced this daily, even as Emperor of Rome.
surrounded by treachery and temptation. He reminded himself nightly, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When this mindset becomes habit, emotions stop being chains and become tools. Anger becomes fuel to defend what matters. Sadness becomes depth. Fear becomes focus. Through this inner alchemy, suffering is transformed into wisdom. You may not notice it yet, but this ability to feel deeply and remain unmoved makes you magnetic. It is rare. People are drawn to those who carry calm like armor. They sense you've walked through darkness without losing your center, that you can endure fire and emerge sharpened rather than shattered. This is not about pretending to be emotionless. It is about sovereignty. You own your emotions. They do not own you. You let the world scream while you move like water, adapting, flowing, unbroken, because you understand what the Stoics taught. Strength is not volume. Power is not noise. The true test is how silent you can remain when everything demands a reaction. The one who can endure emotion without being ruled by it, that person is unshakable. And that, ultimately, is what makes you truly intelligent, truly compelling, and truly dangerous. Not because you dominate others, but because you have mastered yourself. The Stoics never taught us to be loud. They taught us to be sovereign. When the world shouts, you observe. When others rush to speak, you choose silence. When chaos demands a reaction, you hold your ground, because you have already won the greatest battle, the one within. True intelligence does not beg for attention. It does not perform. It does not seek validation. It seeks mastery. Mastery over thought. Mastery over emotion. Mastery over self. And that is why this kind of intelligence feels dangerous to the undisciplined, because it cannot be manipulated. It cannot be shaken. It cannot be owned. This is the intelligence the Stoics lived by, the intelligence we explore and refine here at Stoic Sage Academy, not to dominate others, but to command our own minds.